Alright, what's going on, people? Welcome back to my channel. Now, first and foremost, I have to apologize. I've been super inconsistent. And you know what's crazy? There was a week where I was saying, you know what, I'm gonna post every single day. I'm gonna post every single day this week, and I don't think I posted that week, I'll be honest. But listen, I've been saying, if you go back and watch any more videos, I've been saying if I get, I think, 1,000 subs, like something like that, by the end of this year, I'm gonna post every day for 100 days. 100 days, that's a promise. If I don't do it, then I'll delete my whole YouTube and I'll delete my Instagram and my TikTok. I'll delete everything in it. If I hit 1,000 subs, I'm gonna post every day for 100 days. So make sure you subscribe. And I'm gonna be more consistent now. I know that the background looks a little bit different. You know, this ain't a new studio, don't worry. Yeah, I don't even wanna say where I am, but I'm somewhere in it, yeah, and it looks good. So you might see this background a couple more times this week, maybe next week, I don't know. But make sure you subscribe, like, and also comment, because today what I'm gonna be doing is a start, bench, sell for Ruben Amorim'S squad. So Amorim'S, his tenure is starting this week, yeah. So Monday, I'm recording this on Monday, it's his first training session. A lot of the players have come back from like international duty just to see him, just to be part of his first, you know, couple days as Manchester United manager at Carrington. But the reality is, look, everyone's on a clean slate. Yeah, even Bruno, and I know he's a captain, everyone is on a clean slate. So it is up to Ruben this week to decide who he's going to start, who he's going to bench, and by the end of the season, maybe even in January, who is he going to sell. So I'm going to go through and I'm going to say the players that I think, or what the decision's going to be for certain players. So the first player I'm going to talk about is Onana. Kind of obvious start. I don't think he's going to go out and find another goalkeeper. Goalkeeping position is super difficult to even find a world-class player in there anyway. There aren't a lot. And once you found one that's doing well and is progressing, you're going to want to keep him. You don't want to mess around with that keeper position too much. So Andre Onana, and to be fair, this season he's improved a lot, so you got to give him his flowers as well. So I'd say he's a definite start. Now going into the defence, there's a lot of players in here. I'm not going to talk about everyone. I'm going to kind of go through it quickly. Lindelof, I'm going to do it in groups. Yeah, Lindelof and Maguire. I'm bench Lindelof and I'm going to sell Maguire. Yeah, I'm going to bench Lindelof and sell Maguire. The reason why is because I feel like Lindelof is just a little bit more versatile as a footballer. I think he's a better passer, a bit more composed on the ball. Like I said, he's a bit more versatile, so he can play as a fullback, he can play as a centre-back. I feel like when it comes to Maguire, if you're not setting up a system to kind of support him, he can be a liability, he can make a mistake here and there. Lindelof can make mistakes as well, don't get it twisted. Lindelof can make mistakes, but I just feel like Maguire, if he's not that middle centre-back in that three, where are you going to put him? You can't put him anywhere, whereas Lindelof, I feel like you can put him in any of those three centre-back positions. I don't know about left wing-back or right wing-back. That's a question mark, isn't it? Maybe Amorim might put him there, you don't know. But I just feel like he's got a little bit more to his game than Harry Maguire does. And if you're one of those guys who have been saying, you know, all these players have been here for too long, these guys have been here for 5 years, 6 years, 7 years, they need to go, then I guess Maguire should be first on that list because he's been here for ages. Yeah, so bench Lindelof, sell Maguire. Now, Mazraoui and Dalot, I'd start both of them. I would start both of them as those two wing-back positions. Both of them would get start. I know people are like, oh, but he might put wingers there, etc. I think, and I've said this before on another show, it's not about he has to put a winger in those positions or he has to put a fullback in those positions. It's just about whichever player adapts the best. Who are the more versatile players? The reality is, our most versatile players are our fullbacks, Dalot and Mazraoui. That's facts. They're way more versatile than a Garnacho or a Rashford or a Anthony or whoever else is. They're way more. Maybe only Ahmad is a player that I could say can play 2-3 positions. But Mazraoui and Dalot are the two players that I look at and think they could adapt very well to that wing-back position. Whether it works or not, we don't know. We have to wait and see. Wait and see it until that happens. But I would start both of those players. Now, De Ligt and Martinez, both of them are starts, as well as Euro. I think eventually, I wouldn't start Euro yet because he's been injured since pre-season. I think he played 45 minutes and he got injured. So I definitely wouldn't start him yet. Give him a bit of time to gel with the squad, gel with the team. You know, De Ligt's had time to play with the other players in the team. Mazraoui's had time to play and understand and build up some chemistry with the other players in the team. Euro has had no time. He knows the squad. Don't get twisted. He is at Carrington every day, so he definitely knows the guys. It's not like he's foreign to the guys, but he hasn't played with them like match day, like played with them a lot. So it is going to take a minute before he does gel and understand the game and also understand the tempo of Premier League football and that level of football. So I wouldn't start him yet, but eventually Euro would get to start. Luke Shaw and Malacia, they're the two players I'm going to talk about next. Now with Luke Shaw, I'll be honest with you. For this season, bench. After this season, I wouldn't mind if you sold him. I wouldn't mind if he cashed in. I feel like the reason why I say bench is, one, I don't think he's better. I would rather start Mazraoui anywhere over Luke Shaw. Whether it's left wing back, left centre back, wherever you want to put him, I'd rather start Mazraoui there because I feel like he has been one of our best players this season. It would make zero sense at all to drop him for Luke Shaw, who, let's be honest, we don't even know what Luke Shaw we're getting. We actually don't know. It's not like he came back for England and he was a world-class player. He came back for England and he started like 2 games and we didn't even win a tournament. Like, it wasn't like insane, like, oh my gosh, I can't believe like we've not had Luke Shaw. Like, it's not going to be one of those situations. He's going to come back. He's going to be a bit wary because naturally you've had, you know, season-ending injuries all your career. Not all your career, but for the past, 6, 7, 8 years now. He's going to be a little bit wary. He's not going to be 110%. He's not going to be 120%. He's not going to be putting in a crazy amount of effort because he's not going to want to pull a muscle, or he's not going to want to go into every single challenge 100% because he knows he's going to have flashbacks of that Europa League game under Mourinho where he's gone into that challenge and his bones broke his ankle. He's not going to want to do that. You know what I'm saying? So I just feel like Mazraoui he's a lot more comfortable now. He's shown his ability. He's very versatile. He can play left and the right. I'd rather him start in general over Luke Shaw. Now, whether he's a bench or he's being sold is 100% dependent on if we have a backup. Right now, we have, Malacia and Harry Amas as our backup fullbacks. It's not enough. So that's why I said right now I would keep Luke Shaw on the bench. If in the summer we go and get in another left back, get in, Alvaro Fernandez, or Alphonso Davis, or whoever else is on the market, then I'm sorry, Luke Shaw, I wouldn't mind if he got sold. I wouldn't mind. Cash in, 30 million, we need the money. United actually need the money, so yeah, I wouldn't mind if he got sold. Other than that, I'll be honest, the other centre-backs, Johnny Evans probably going to retire eventually. De Ligt, obviously he's a starter. And that's really it. Malacia, I need to see some more football. Now, going on to the midfield positions. Mason Mount. I'm going to say for Mason Mount, bench for the foreseeable future. I don't see him starting in this team. I don't see him starting at all in this team. Especially because of the position. Because of the, you know what? Nah, I don't see him starting in this team. Because the 2 midfield positions, I see one, if Mainoo's available, he has to start in that position. I think the only other replacement for Mainoo would be an Ericsson or would be an Ericsson. And then the other midfield position would be either Casemiro or Ugarte. Maybe even both of them together. What other midfielders do we even have? Yeah, that's it. They're the only those 4 midfielders there are the 4 midfielders that I can see playing in those 2 isolated midfield positions. Maybe Bruno might be able to play in there. That's another conversation. But they're the 4 players that I look at and think if any of them are available, they're gonna play. Then you look at the 2, depending on how we play. If we play a 3-4-3, then I guess that's more of a 2 inside forwards. If he plays a 3-4-2-1, it's kind of like 2 10s. Either way, I think if it's a 2 10s, he has a better chance of playing or starting. But even then, I would still start Ahmad. either an inside forward or as a 10. And on the other side, Bruno's probably going to start a lot of games. And then you still got Rashford and Garnacho. So I just don't see where Mount starts in this team. I don't see it. So he's a bench player for me for the foreseeable future. I spoke just about Eriksen. Again, if Mainy's not starting, if Mainy's not fit, I'd start Eriksen. I think he's been our best midfielder this season. I think he should play in general. Even if Mainy is available, he should still play because he has legs. The whole myth about Mainy has no legs, it's all cap. He has legs. And he's good enough that he doesn't even need legs because no one's touching him anyway. He's that far ahead in terms of being 2-3 steps ahead of the game. No one gets close to him. He doesn't need to be super physical. So Mainy plays. Ugarte plays. Ugarte, I'll be honest, I can hold my hand up and say I was wrong about Ugarte. I thought, because I hadn't seen a lot of him before United, I was purely basing my opinion on him on his first run of games. And let's be honest, they weren't great. They weren't a great run of games. So in my opinion, I was thinking, who is this player that we signed? Like, I get it, we know the stats. He's one of the most interceptions and the most tackles and this, etc., etc. But we've seen time and time again players go from other leagues to the Premier League, and it's like what happened? Like who is this guy that we bought? Like I remember when Werner left Leipzig, or was it Salzburg? No, it was Leipzig, and went to Chelsea. I think he scored 28 goals in the Bundesliga. Came to Chelsea and he was washed. Like I was a different player completely. So I based Ugarte off the first run of games, and he wasn't great. But now I could hold my hands up and say this is a different player. Like this is the guy that I kind of, if my expectations were high, this is the Ugarte that I'm seeing right now. Yeah, based off those expectations. So he starts for me. He actually starts. Casemiro is another player that he plays. Whether or not he starts another conversation, again, based on everyone being fit, I'm not sure about that. But of the current climate of the team, he probably does start because we don't actually have that many players that are fit. So yeah, the only player in the midfield that I want to talk about is Bruno, and I think he starts as well. I think Bruno starts. So this whole myth about Bruno being, he's going to get dropped and there's no place for him in the team, he'll find a place. Bruno will find his way into that team eventually. So moving on to the forwards. Interesting conversations here. I'm going to get these ones out of the way. Ahmad starts, simple as. Don't even need to speak about that too much. I feel like everyone agrees that Ahmad starts. And let me say something as well, yeah? All you rival fans that are saying that, oh, Ahmad's overrated and you guys just want Ahmad to start because everybody else is dead. No, absolutely not. Amad Diallo, genuinely, and I'm not even just saying this as a United fan, he's one of the best forward players that we see in the Premier League. Honestly, and I'm not even just saying that. I think the reason why people don't rate Ahmad as much is because he's small, he's quiet, he's humble, he's not too extravagant, he doesn't put his name out there too much, he doesn't say a lot. And not only that, yeah, maybe it's a bit of a controversial take, but he's not British, so he hasn't got that British tax. He's not like a Brazilian or anything. Like how people like to overhype, South American players because they feel like, oh, they're just relating it back to the Ronaldinhos and all those kind of players. He's not South American, and also he's not like Italian or like Spanish or Portuguese. People don't look at him and they just put like a certain stereotype over him because he's not from those places. And I feel like because of all of those things, he doesn't get rated as much. And I think it's crazy because I think Amad Diallo genuinely is is a serious talent in terms of his forward ability. And I think technical ability, there's probably less than 2 or 3 players in the team that can chat to him. And it's not just because everyone's dead, because we do have some technically gifted players in the team. I don't think there's a lot of players that can chat to him. I think he's exciting. When he has the ball, he takes on plays and he beats plays. He's not just taking these guys on and just running into trouble. He's taking them on, he's beating them. But not only that, but he's composed. He can hold the ball up. We can find a pass, find a simple pass, find a more difficult pass. Everything that you see Jack Grealish doing, Amad Diallo can do. He can. That is not a wild take. I genuinely feel like Amad Diallo is that good. And when he needs to score a banger, he can pull it out of the bag and he can score one. So Amad Diallo, serious player. Don't call him overrated or try and get onto him or anything like that. That is a talent that we need to see in the future. Moving on, I'm going to go for the 2 strikers, Højlund and Xerxes. As of right now, Højlund starts, Xerxes obviously bench. But at the end of the season, listen, if we can get in this Gyökeres or Gyökeres, I think it's Gyökeres. If we can get in Gyökeres, yeah, I'm sorry. Højlund gets benched. Xerxes, you gotta find a new club. I'm sorry. We can't have 3 strikers on the bench. It makes no sense. And I don't know if Xerxes will be able to play and adapt and play like, you know, the inside forward position or the second 10. Maybe he can play that second 10. In fact, maybe, yeah, he can play as that second 10, but I just don't see him being a striker at Man United if we go and get a serious number 9 in the summer. I can't see it happening. And it's not like I'm writing him off. He's not a dead player. It's just, as of right now, he's not a goal scorer. He's just not. And this whole 9.5 thing, that's just bollocks. I don't hear that. It's just that just sounds like you're confused. It sounds like you don't know what you're doing. I'm not hearing that. So Højlund starts for me right now. Xerxes starts on the bench. But in the summer, a lot of things can change. A lot of things can change. Now, going on to probably the two most spoke about players this season, Rashford and Garnacho. Again, if we are playing that 3-4-3 inside forward formation, I've always said this, and I've been saying this for a very long time. Garnacho is a super sub. He is, and the key word is super, because he is actually a superb sub. Like, it's not like he's just put him on the bench and if we need him, like, or if, like, I don't know, the game's lost or whatever, we just throw him on to get some minutes like he's a 16-year-old kid. Nah, he can come on and change a game. Honestly, I remember the FA Cup final, not the last one, the one before that, against City. He came on in like the 70th minute around the time, and we were losing. I think it was 2-1. Bruno scored that penalty. And he came on, and he was electric. Like, he was so electric. He was on fire. Like, if he had come on maybe like 10 minutes earlier, and if the game wasn't already kind of deflated a little bit, he could have made a difference. But that is the Garnacho that I feel like right now we need. That super energetic, you know, he's facing these tired defenders, he's got something to prove, he's hungry. That is the Garnacho that we need to see. And that, in my opinion, is the best Garnacho that we have right now. Eventually, he might be a starter. That's a whole other conversation. In fact, he probably will be, because he's got a lot of time to develop and better his game. But right now, he is a super sub. And that just leaves Marcus Rashford, who I feel like, you know what, people say that I'm a Rashford fanboy, whatever. I just feel like he's our best winger, you know, on the left-hand side. On the right-hand side, or in general, Ahmad, like I spoke about before, super talent. But I just feel like Rashford, there's just nobody else in that position that's better than him right now. It's just facts. And it's not like I'm saying he's been great or anything. He hasn't. In fact, he's been super underwhelming. But we just don't have anybody else better than him in that position. And until we do, just play him. You know, just play him and build up his confidence, especially under this new manager. We might see a new Rashford. We saw it on the Ollie, his first season under Rashford, super player. Ten Hag, his first season under Rashford, super player. Ruben Amorim, we could see another super talented, world-class player under Marcus Rashford. So I would still start him. And other than that, that's everybody else. I think, Anthony, sell him. Yeah, that's it. I don't really need to say anything else other than about Anthony. But let me know in the comments, would you start, bench, or sell? Or which players in the United squad would you start, bench, or sell? And let me know your opinions on Ruben Amorim. By the time this comes out, we wouldn't have played Ipswich yet. But I just want to know your initial thoughts about the manager and his comments and stuff like that. But until then, I'm going to see you on the next video.